Huda.
Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Please ignore the state of my skin. I have obviously cleansed and moisturised and did all my usual skincare bits, which is why my skin looks so shiny on camera. Also, my skin is not looking too great. That is because I've just come back from Scotland and the water is a lot different there, so it's a lot cleaner in Scotland. Whenever I travel from London to Scotland, my skin just has like this attack. I don't know what the hell happens to it, but I end up breaking out and my skin just doesn't like the change. Because I've lived in London for so long, it's obviously used to the dirty water now. But when I go back to Glasgow, I do tend to break out. I did notice whilst I was there, my skin was breaking out like mad for a good like week or two. Glasgow was good, but let's just get started. So today I thought I would do a tutorial on YouTube showing you how I contour my face. Now, I don't use this technique all the time. I mainly use this technique when, for example, I'm going to a wedding or a party or some sort of event and I really want my cheekbones to stand out and look a little bit more chiseled. Before I begin, I am going to obviously prep my skin. So I've already moisturised like I mentioned before, and I'm now going to use a primer. Now, my favourite primer is the Farsali Unicorn Essence Primer at the moment. This just really hydrates my skin and it gives my skin that missing kind of like that glow. So when I use like a matte foundation, I prefer to go in with the Farsali Unicorn Essence because I don't like my foundation to be too matte, but then I do like the texture of a matte foundation. But what this does is it really just kind of makes my matte foundation look slightly more dewy and a little bit more glowy than just it being completely matte. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to directly place this on my face, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to directly begin to work that into my skin. And what I like to do is I make sure I just let my primer set into my skin for a good like 10-15 seconds before I apply anything on top. So I've just waited like a good 10-15 seconds and just waited for the primer to just get a little bit more tacky, and now I'm just going to go in with the corrector under my eyes. So for foundation, I'm going to go in with the Tarte Face Tape Foundation. So this foundation is light for my skin tone, and I have mentioned this before, it does look really white, like it leaves like a white cast on my face. The reason why I went for this colour was because online the colour apparently matched me, and unfortunately I just feel like it looks just too white. The colour I have is light medium sand. Because we don't get Tarte in the UK, it's difficult to determine what colour is my colour, so I just kind of went with whatever. But I actually have the Body Shop darkening shade drops, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to see how that goes. I'm going to mix a couple of the drops in and see if it can kind of darken my foundation and make it look like my skin colour. So I'm just using one pump and I'm going to do about 2 drops of the darkening drops. Now, I was recording and then for some reason it just stopped filming, so I'm just going to do the same thing. So I did one pump already on this side and I'm just taking another pump and just gonna begin to really work that into my skin. I feel like my skin is looking really ashy, so it's not really looking like my skin colour for some reason, and because I've got so much texture on my skin due to all the kind of redness, I feel like it's just not working out. It's just not looking too great for some reason. So for concealer, I am going in with the Kevyn aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancer Concealer in the shade SX06. And the reason why I am using this is because I really want my under eyes to look a lot more brighter, and obviously because I've stopped using the Ordinary products, my like lines, like the wrinkles under my eyes are a lot more prominent, so I need something really heavy to kind of cover them up. And I feel like this concealer looks so good on camera as well, especially when I'm filming or taking pictures. The only thing is that it does give quite a lot of flashback in certain lighting and some photography, so I would definitely use the tiniest amount. Now I've had my pot for almost like I think a year now, and I'm not even halfway through it, because you just need the tiniest amount to cover up the dark circles under your eyes or any other pigmentation on your skin. I like to apply some on my chin area and around my forehead as well, and just take it up towards my temples. Now because we are applying a light concealer under our eyes, when you apply contour, it's going to really help your under eyes stand out. And you'll understand what I mean when I start to apply contour. To chisel out my face, I'm going to go in with Huda Beauty Tantour. It's like a contour and bronzer. It's like a cream product, but it dries down as powder, which I love because I'm not a big fan of cream contour in general, but the fact that this actually dries down as a powder as opposed to staying wet on the skin, I actually prefer that, and I feel like it just looks so much more flawless. So I'm just going to kind of swipe the brush a couple of times into the pot, and then I'm going to actually wipe some on the back of my hand because I don't want it to go on too heavy initially, because if you go on too heavy it's kind of hard to, you know, make it look a lot lighter. A lot of people would probably contour from their ear downwards, because generally your cheekbone does start from around here and then downwards. I prefer to make my cheeks and my cheekbones look a lot higher, so I like to take it from, like, if you use the tail of your brow, you can get like a rough idea where you want your contour to start. So I usually start it from here and I bring it down. Now I know this looks scary and you think, what the hell is she doing? But once it all kind of comes together, you'll understand what I mean. I'm just going to use that to place on my forehead area as well. And I like to bring it down here as well, so just along this area. And I'm going to take some more product and bring it down my nose. And place some just under my lip. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to blend out all the kind of lines I've placed all over my face. I'm going to start with this side, and I'm just going to slowly begin to do like soft circular motions. I'm not going to go too heavy handed, because if you push onto your skin too much, it will really just begin to kind of just blend into your foundation and just look quite mucky. So you just want to do like really soft motions. And do the same thing on the other side, and just basically just blend out all the lines on your face. Just make sure that there's no harsh lines left in the end. I'm just going to go in with the Beauty Blender and use the bottom end, and I'm just going to go over all the areas that I blended out the contour. This is just so that there's no like harsh lines. Now I'm going to go back in with the Kevyn aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancer Concealer. I'm just going to place that just under my cheekbones, just to kind of help emphasize my cheekbones a little bit more. I'm just going to begin to just create a line and just blend that out. For powder, I'm going to go in with the Fenty powder. I love that it's so soft. This powder is just everything to me. I feel like I can't find anything else that will do what this powder does. It does not dry out my skin, it leaves my skin looking flawless. Just everything about this powder does it for me, and until another powder doesn't come out that is as good as this one, I don't think I will be able to stop using it. And just begin to place that under my eyes and bring it right up to give the illusion that your skin is like lifted. And then I like to just bring it down the sides here, so along my smile lines. I feel like because I've put on a little bit of weight on my face, the smile lines are, you can see them a lot more, and it's quite annoying. So I'm just going to place it on my chin and just under my cheekbones. Also going to place a little bit on my eyelids. Just going to place some on my forehead, just stamp it on. Right, whilst that powder is baking under my eyes, I'm going to go in with the BH Cosmetics Studio Pro palette. Now this palette is good for travelling. I love the packaging. I love the fact that it is it's quite narrow and it's quite sleek as well. So I'm going to actually go in with this MAC, it's like a fluffy brush, and I'm going to take the third middle, so the middle shade, so it's not too dark but it's not too light, and I'm just going to begin to place that in my contour. Doesn't matter if the powder kind of wipes away, don't worry about that. So once I've done that, I like to brush away the rest of the powder on my face. The reason why I didn't brush off the banana powder before was because I like the way it kind of blends into the contour. It just gives it that like gradient effect, and I don't know, for some reason I really like that. I feel like it looks a lot more natural than if you were to wipe it away and then place contour, because sometimes when you put contour afterwards it just looks like one harsh line, whereas the banana powder, like I said, actually helps to blend out the contour. So right now your contour is probably looking really natural. I kind of like it like this, but obviously I'm going to go and contour the rest of my face. Before I go in and contour the rest of my face with the powder, what I like to do is I like to go in with a setting spray. You can use any setting spray, but right now I am actually loving the Huda Beauty setting spray. I'm just going to wait a couple of seconds for that to dry. Then I like to go in with another setting spray. Now the reason why I do this is because the first one, so the Huda Beauty one, actually just locks everything in place. And this second setting spray is the Beauty Blender Redew Set and Refresh Spray, and this just gives my skin a dewy finish and I prefer that. But if you want, you could just stop at the first setting spray and just keep it a little bit more matte, but like I said, I prefer my skin to look a lot more dewy, and because I've got a lot of texture on my skin right now, I don't want it to start looking dry and like look like there's like cracks on my face and just very cakey. So taking the same contour powder, so the middle shade, we're just going to bronze up the rest of my skin. So I'm just going to begin to start off with just under my jawline and just doing soft circular motions. Again, I'm not applying too much pressure, and then place some on my forehead area. Now to contour my nose area, I'm just going in with a small fluffy brush. You could use any brush. This one is just a BH Cosmetics one. And I'm going to go in with the second darkest shade, which is this one here. And I'm just going to start to contour my nose. So I'm going to start from the top and then just bring it down the sides of my nose. I'm just going to go back in with the Beauty Blender and just really blend out that nose contour, just so that again there's no harsh lines, don't see any kind of dark shades on my face, like on my nose area. Right guys, so that's me just completed my base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the rest of my makeup off camera, and I will come back and show you what the rest looks like, and then just show you what my last kind of steps are before I complete like everything. Okay guys, as you can see, I have completed the rest of my face off camera. If you want to see how I achieved this eye makeup look, then please head over to my Instagram. It is kinza_rahman. Yeah, so follow me on my Instagram to see how I achieved this eye makeup look, because I won't be posting it on my YouTube. I haven't completed my contour steps. If you want, you can leave it like this, just add highlighter and you are good to go. I have already added highlighter because I had to for my Instagram video. So I basically used the Anastasia Beverley Hills Amrezy highlighter just to highlight just my cheekbones. I haven't highlighted anywhere else. And once I've highlighted, what I like to do is I like to go in with another bronzer, because I feel like my contour, you can only kind of see my contour from like the side, but face, like when you look straight at me, it's not striking enough, and I like my contour to really stand out. So I am going to take the Fenty Beauty, what's it called? I'm going to take the Fenty Beauty Sunstalker bronzer in the shade Island Ting. If you haven't tried this bronzer, honestly, you're missing out. It is so flawless and the colour is insane. It doesn't look orange on your skin. It looks more bronzy, sun-kissed. A lot of bronzers I have used just look very orange on my skin. But this one just honestly just glides on and it doesn't leave any patches on my skin. I've mentioned that before. And then start to really bronze up. So what I'm doing is I'm placing it between the highlighter and where I contoured, and I'm just going to start to kind of do soft circular motions, just kind of bring out that contour a little bit more. Now you will notice that the highlighter will begin to slightly fade, so you can always kind of go back in and reapply your highlighter. But I like doing this technique because I feel like everything just looks so much more blended, because if you just place like highlighter on top, it just looks like one like line, and I don't like that. I prefer everything to look a little bit more neat and blended. I'm going to add a little bit of blush because I feel like I'm looking too like bronzy and there's no like kind of colour on my face. I'm just going to take this Body Shop bronzer in the shade Marshmallow, and it looks like this. I was actually sent this by a friend in Glasgow. She's actually a Body Shop representative and she does huge discounts on a lot of Body Shop items, so please follow her. I will leave her details down below. It's Sadaf_Hanif. I've also done a collaboration with Sadaf on my Instagram, so you can check out some of the products I used from Body Shop on my Instagram, just to give you a rough idea of how they perform on the skin. I love this blusher and I'm not a huge fan of blush, but this blush just brings like a slight flush to my cheeks. It's not overpowering and it's not too pigmented either. So I like going back into that bronzer shade just to sharpen up that contour and then start blending it into the blush. At this stage you can then go back in with the highlighter and just highlight the rest of your face. I'm just going to add some, oh, like there's like a hair dangling from my brush. Then I like to just go in with the Huda Beauty setting spray, just lock that all in place. Okay guys, so this is the completed look. I hope you enjoyed this quick tutorial on contour and what contour would look like on textured skin. Because my skin is playing up at the moment, I thought I would make a video to show you how you can make it look flawless. I would usually go in with a less heavy foundation on a day-to-day, but for the purpose of this video I have used quite a heavy foundation, so it does look really heavy on my skin at the moment. You can keep it natural and just stick with just the Huda Beauty Tantour because it does dry down as a powder. You don't have to go in with another powder on top or bronze if you prefer it just to look a little bit more natural than this. Hopefully I will see you in my next video. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe, and I will catch you guys very soon. Bye!